So if you want to go to northern Manitoba or go to some of these far away lake trout destinations, you definitely have to have the right equipment and the right gear. Most years, you're going to probably be best served using a snowmobile. There's times where you can use a four-wheeler or a side-by-side with tracks, but when the snow gets tough, you're definitely going to want to have a snowmobile, especially for slush. Now, as far as the actual equipment, the gear that you're going to be using, you have to think rugged and you have to think tough in the sense there's a lot of things that can go wrong on these trips. So you definitely want to have a heavy duty heater. This is the Heat Hog, which is just a rugged, durable heater, puts off a lot of heat. Run it to a 20-pound tank, that way you get the pressure no matter how cold it gets. And a lot of times we're fishing out of hub shelters. If you have 2 anglers, 3 anglers, you definitely need to spread out and you need the room that a hub shelter provides. And so this is a JM500, very warm shelter, heavy duty hubs, heavy duty poles. It's going to hold up in the conditions, it's going to warm up. And so you definitely need that floor space of a hub shelter. And so when you're going up lake trout fish, especially if you're fishing with another person, think hub. Now when it comes to augers, again, you're going to be usually using a 10-inch auger, and you're usually going to have an extension. A lot of times when we're packing for trips up north, we're bringing 2 of everything, because if it can break or if it can go wrong, it will. There's not a lot of good mapping options for a lot of this water up in northern Manitoba. The best one by far is, it's called Angling Edge, and I'll show you here. I've got Clearwater Lake pulled up on here. And as far as the rods and the tackle, we're spooling up, a larger reel with 20-pound Power Pro with a 20-pound Seeger leader, usually about a 6 to 8 foot leader. And this here's just a 45-inch Mac rod. See, here's just got that heavy backbone. Whether you're using tube jigs or spoons. And a lot of times we'll have a few rods rigged up with treble hooks just for laying dead baits on the bottom, which laying Cisco on the bottom is a really proven tactic that catches a lot of big fish. And up in Manitoba in particular, you do have to pinch the barbs down on the rods or on the tackle that you're using. And as far as tackle, there's a lot of great options, and I would say tube jigs are probably by far the most popular, and I would argue the most productive. And so, here's some drop tine tubes with the spinner on the back. You got some TC Moto. There's several companies that make pretty high quality tube. Here's some Northland tubes with the treble stinger on the back, but just a big heavy tube jig. Either 4 inches or 6 inches seem to be about the most popular sizes. But you definitely want to be geared up and prepared. The other thing to consider is when you do get up into some of these rural areas, it's a long distance between towns. And so whenever you see a town, you fill up. That's just the golden rule up here, okay? The other thing to remember is a lot of times you're going to be in a place where your cell phone doesn't work that well, okay? And so one thing to always consider is always make sure you have extra fuel on board, whether it's for your vehicle or for your snowmobile. So this here is called a Flo-Fast, which in my opinion, I tell you what, if you have a snowmobile trailer, a boat lift, a shop, this is just handy. Basically you mount this onto the top of the tank and you just crank on it and it pumps the gas out, or you can pump the gas in. And so make sure that you always have a little bit extra fuel on board just so you can get to the next town. And so that's definitely a must-have. Extra power packs, as far as jumping batteries, jumper cables, shovels, those are the type of things that you don't go into this country without.